Okay, so I got my cardboard paper right here. So I'm gonna kind of fold it in half. Because this is a full piece of dress. And it just depends on how long you want the back and how short you want the front. So I don't want them too big of a difference. So I'm just gonna start right here. So almost in the middle, but not quite in the middle. And just come down, make a curve. Across like that, a little bit. And then curve down. Like that. There you go. And I measure my waist, and I'm just gonna add 4 inches. So it's gonna be a square at the top. So I just measure my waist. So this is gonna be a full piece, and you measure your waist, and then you divide it by 2, and then you add 4 inches. It depends on how flowy you want your skirt. To be. Then you just add more inches the more flowy you want your skirt. I like mine really flowy, so I'm adding more inches to it to make the fabric more loose. You see how that's curved right there, so I'm just gonna cut straight. And you guys saw how I just cut it in half because I like to do half patterns. It's easier to store than a full pattern. And I usually will just use my fabric on fold. And there we go. And then for the back piece, when you do it, so here's the front piece. I cut the curve off, and then I put this right on top of my other half. That's why I like to do half. It's just so I can make more pattern. And then I just measure where my skirt ends. So it ended right here. Okay, there's that line right there. Then I take this piece. So you see the cut is right here. The cut. And you just put it on the bottom there. And of course it was the other piece, so it should just go right across the top there. You see that? So then you just draw the curve. This out. That is the bottom piece, and that is the top. So basically I just cut out this piece, this curvy piece. Just cut that, flip it up, turn it around, put it right on the other side, and measured it and cut it like that. So hopefully that is very understandable. If you guys don't understand it, just comment me on the bottom and I will try to explain it again to you guys. So that'll be it for our pattern making for our dress. Make sure right side are facing together and then just fold it. And there's the full line, and then you see the small side of the skirt. This is the front skirt. So the small side of the skirt, you just put it right on the fold, and then just trace it. This is the bottom front piece of the skirt, so I just trace it close to the fabric, to the pattern. And then I move the fabric down to trace the bottom piece of the skirt. I just placed the back piece of the skirt right on that curve of that front of the skirt, and then I just go ahead and trace it. Since it is the bottom piece of the skirt, I just trace it as close to the fabric as I can, and then just go ahead and cut it out. Make sure your fabric is flat and even when you are tracing, so it cut out nicely. Then here is the top piece of the skirt on the flowy material, and I just put the, of course, the small piece of the skirt. This is the top piece again. This is the front piece again, and make sure that small piece on the top is on the fold. And then since this is the top piece, you're gonna cut a few inches more than the pattern to make it more flowy. And then I just went ahead and even all my material out, make it look nice, flatten it out. And since this material is kind of hard to draw on, I'm not using marker here, I'm trying to use a pencil, I decided not to trace it. I just decided to go ahead and cut it off, and keeping in mind to keep an inch or two extra room. See how I'm moving the fabric as I'm cutting? It's just so it would be even and not funny looking. On the waist piece, I cut it equal to the waist, but then as I come down, I open it up more, the fabric more, so it'll be more flowy. I didn't realize that my battery ran out, so my camera shut itself off. But the bottom piece, when I cut it, I just cut the same way, keep the waist the same, and then just open it out towards the bottom. And to the bottom piece where the curve is, the low skirt, the skirt is, I actually cut 3 inches more than what the pattern costs, what I made the pattern. And there you go, you have your front top piece, and then we'll on this one, I'm going to show you guys how I did it. I just make sure to have the back piece of my skirt following the top piece of my skirt on the side there. See how I'm doing that? Make sure you don't really curve it, kind of do it straight. I'm curving it in here just to show you guys that I'm sewing this together like that, but I'm actually following the top piece instead of the bottom piece. See how I straighten it out again? Yeah. So after you sew the sides, go ahead and hem it. So sew the sides, 2 sides there, and then go ahead and hem around the high-low skirt, the front and the back. So now both of your pieces are sewn. Then you want to make sure right sides are facing out towards you, and then you put the bottom piece inside of the top piece, and just make sure sizing matches and just lay it out nicely. So go ahead and straighten it out and stuff. And then, so now that it's straightened out, you want to go ahead and top stitch the top there, just so it stays together, so it's stabilized. I'm going to pin it first and then sew it, just so the fabric doesn't move on me. Then now you grab the black elastic. I forgot to show you guys are going to need black elastic 3-inch. And just do it around your waist, and you want to do 2 inches smaller than your waist. Then go ahead and fold it in half and mark it. And then after you fold it in half, you want to open it up. And then you just bring the ends into the half and mark it. So you should have 3 marks after you are done marking this. And then just go ahead and sew the end after you have your 3 marks. So just put the elastic together and then just sew. Then we are back. Mark your skirt. You already have side seams, so just fold it the other way and mark the front and the back so you have a marker for the elastic to go on. And what I did was I matched the front and the back seam line first, because it's a high-low skirt and you don't want your skirt to look funky. So I matched the front and the back first, and then I matched the sides. Then I just went ahead and pin it and then sew it. I didn't show you guys the sewing part, but when I sew, I did the back. I didn't pull the elastic yet, so I just did 4 inches in the back without pulling the middle piece of the back to make it look good, because you don't want to pull it too much because you don't want the low skirt in the back to look scrunchy. And then I did the front piece the same way. I just did a flat front piece for 4 inches on the front too. And then I just pull the elastic to match the fabric as I finish sewing the rest of the skirt. So the elastic should stretch as you go, as you are sewing. Here we are back to the top to put the zipper on. I started with the lace on top. I decided to cut all the way up to the top to the lace. And then, it's off camera, but I folded the top and then just pin it and then come down and just keep folding as you go down. And I started with the satin material first. Started with the satin material and then I just fold down as I go. And you don't want to put too close to the zipper because you want to be able to zip. So just make sure it's even in line and just fold as you go down. And then I just fold and pin, fold and pin. And then I just flip it to the back side. The jersey material is. And then I do the same thing. So the lace should be with the satin and the jersey should be by itself. And then I just fold it and then fold and pin again. And make sure it's not too close to the zipper again so you can zip. And here we are, all the pieces are done. Then I just go ahead and mark the side seams on my skirt because my skirt doesn't have side seams on the elastic. And after I finished marking the side seam, I flip it inside out. So my top should be facing right side up and then my skirt should be facing wrong side up. And then you just make sure the side seams are there and then put it in. Put the top inside the skirt and match the side seams and just pin it around. And with the top, when you sew, it's not like the skirt where it's bigger. So you just slowly, just stretch the elastic a little bit and just sew around. Just a little bit. And here you guys are. Is done, and this is how it should look when it's done sewing. It looks kind of funky and stuff, but I'm gonna go around one more time, like a few times. If you guys watch my other tutorials, I always say sew a few times, just so in case one thread break, the other ones will still hold it. And then I'm gonna flip it inside out to show you guys how it should look all together. There you guys go. I haven't ironed it yet, but I'm gonna iron it after I'm done with the whole piece. You guys see how I didn't hem the top piece there too? I'm gonna hem it afterwards. I just wanted to get this video done and up for you guys. So here is the sort of finished piece because I still have to go and hem it. There you go. You guys see how the sides are more puffier because I stretched the elastic on the sides there instead of in the front, in the back. And it really depends on how you like it too. You could stretch them evenly around if you want. And go ahead and cut out any extra thread that is hanging loose and stuff. And thank you guys for watching. Please hit like and subscribe and question down below. Put any questions. If you guys have questions about this, I will try to answer it the best I can. And thank you guys for watching and happy sewing. Bye.